Dr. Berg, Ken Berry, Paul Saladino, Anthony Chafee, who else? Mike Mutzel. Let's get into it. What's up, everyone? Welcome to my very humble channel. Now let's get into it before I run off to Lowe's to get some supplies to do radiant floor heating in my house. Influencers. I'm one. Ken Berry is one. Paul Saladino is one. Dr. Berg is one. Mike Mutzel is one. And there's a host more. Lately, I've been doing video reviews, also Anthony Chafee. I've been doing reviews of discussions or videos that they've put up. For those who just found my channel, I get it. You don't like when one influencer talks about another influencer. But we need to have the discussion. The information out there is so convoluted. I speak differently than everyone else. I am the be careful girl. That's who I am. I want you to be careful about fasting and histamine, high histamine foods, too much protein, too low fat, this concept of weight loss through fasting or autophagy. Now, a lot of the influencers, and I don't pick apart any single one of them, they really hype some of these subjects. People come to me after they've flucked up themselves asking to help fix problems from fasting or problems from high uric acid from eating too much protein on Carnivore, or having gallbladder issues from Keto, chronic fatigue or their hair falling out from fasting, chronic fatigue, crepey skin, or their hair falling out from fasting, or their sleep getting jacked up, or constipation, heart palps. I mean, the list goes on and on. And even though I keep singing the same song, so many people still don't understand how easy it is to take your body way far away from some kind of homeostasis. Now, in the beginning of people doing a carnivore protocol, they might get relief. But then after a while, they start having problems. They might have diarrhea, constipation, gout, high uric acid levels if they go get their levels checked, kidney pain, back pain, hair's falling out, libido drops, crepey. I mean, the list goes on and on. I think that all of these men that I mentioned are very, very nice. I don't know Paul Saladino, so I don't really have much to say about him, but I've spoken to Ken Berry privately, Dr. Berg privately, Mike Mutzel privately, and I have never spoken to Chafee. All of them, their internet persona seems very nice, not offensive, and probably why they have the amount of followers that they have. Somebody said that Dr. Berg had this calming, hypnotic voice. Well, sometimes I do, and sometimes I'm nails on a chalkboard. The reality is that when you're online, all of us are affected by this. YouTube, Instagram, doesn't matter. I don't do TikTok, but all of them will bury you in the algorithm if you don't create bombastic titles, thumbnails. It's absurd. If you guys go back to my video catalog, I didn't even monetize my videos because I didn't want people to look at advertisement before watching the content. You can't make this stuff up. But I got completely slaughtered. No one could find me. I've been around longer than all of them, except for Dr. Berg. And I still was being stubborn because I'm of the old school where I hate having to do clickbait thumbnails, which if you go back to my catalog, there was none. There was no clickbait titles. If you don't do it, people can't find me. When they actually click on that video and they actually hear what I'm saying, that's when I'm here to help. And I've helped a lot of people. And if you look at the comment section for the naysayers, look at the comment section of people who've followed me for years saying that my undying, relentless, hard stance to keep it real is why they keep coming back. I'm not a feather. I'm not going to talk about trends regarding diet because there are people on the other end who are going to listen to every word I say. It is my belief that the majority, not all, but the majority of influencers, I don't think they are aware of how people will hang on every word you say, and they'll copy everything to a T. I don't like that much power. I want to make sure that all my T's are crossed and my I's are dotted before I give out advice. And that is why, as a pro skateboarder who's traveled around the world, I'm so conservative. Who would have thunk? I'm very careful with people's health. So people who just found me and you hear me saying be careful for fasting, that's not flippantly said. I've worked with a ton of people who've developed electrolyte issues, kidney issues, thyroid issues. I mean, the list goes on and on. Chronic dehydration. And they didn't know it came from the fasting. And then people will do carnivore on top of that, and then their back starts hurting. And yeah, you got to be careful. The back, the thyroid, your reproductive hormones, your menstrual cycle, men, your testosterone. You can't play with these diets. This isn't a joke. And I've always said, I don't care if your uncles, brothers, cousins, daughters, friend at schools, aunt across the street did amazing on fasting or carnivore, or even if you did, I don't give a shite. What's important is how it is for the individual across the board, not just you. You people in my comment section. I don't care. I actually work with people. I actually talk to them for hours. I learned a lot. If you guys want to know where I've learned stuff, it's from you guys. Dr. Berg wanted me to be a part of a summit, an in-person summit, and I was tripping. I was like, because I had been critical of his work. So I said, will you talk to me? Is this you? I emailed him back. He said, of course it is. And I didn't know he was that hands-on. And then I said, can we talk by phone? He said, sure. Patient, lovely, nice. And we spoke for a couple of hours. He said when I come to the summit, he had just bought a ranch. They had wild horses. We talked about horses. And I thought he was lovely. I really thought he was a kind person. So be careful between the internet persona and the real person. He's got a big business, 13 million something followers. He runs a big business, makes money. I mean, Hercules, good for you. Good for you. Just because I don't agree with his diet ideology 100% of the time, because sometimes I do, especially when he talked about the adrenal body. But when it comes to fasting, not even fasting because he's sort of changing his thought, but when it came to like the keto stuff, especially back in the day, I couldn't believe what some of these powerful, in terms of numbers, gurus were saying, because it just wasn't true. Like 9 cups of vegetables were destroying people's guts. The salads, when Dr. Berg was talking about that, and then when people flipped over to the fasting side, I mean, I just saw health issue after health issue. But Dr. Berg was awesome. I actually gave him a public apology in a live stream because I had sort of made fun of him. And I told him that was immature. But what is very mature is to be able to take another person's content, dissect it, and analyze it. That's what we're supposed to do. And that's how we do the checks and balances to each other. And I expect people to do that with me. And they have. And I'm totally cool with it. Because you can't just give out advice on the internet and it's word. You're not a god. I'm just a normal person. The thing about me is the concern to not injure people and the passion and love to help people. And I do have passion because I'm living in a camper. If I started years ago, I could have done this. And I could have said, oh my God, follow my fasting or high protein priming, ketogenic fasting protocol, weight loss, 90-day, and I could have made a freaking killing because I'm 56 now. But I can't do that. And I don't know why other people, it's so easy for them to say with very broad strokes, fasting's amazing, one meal a day is amazing, you experience autophagy, which is absolute freaking garbage. You can't measure autophagy. And guess what? If your body is toxic and you have dysglycemia and your cortisol is through the roof and you've got low DHEA and you fast, you're going to flunk yourself. But none of those men spoke about that in the beginning. So I'm very glad that Dr. Berg now mentioned that he had issues, right? And it matters that he had issues because he's speaking to the masses. And I get a lot of these people, I followed this person's protocol and I got jacked. What do I do? How many people do you find on the internet saying they got jacked on my protocol? Not many, if any, because I'm so careful. That's why I don't do show my meals, because people will just copy it. Y'all got to think. Don't just listen to gurus. Don't just listen to me. Do your own freaking research. I think that Anthony Chaffee also has a very pleasing, calming voice. He seems like nice, like not a dick, like a chill person. But he consistently uses his own, I think. That's what I've noticed in some of the debates or some of the interviews. I don't hear enough. This is what I experimented on with myself, with hundreds of people. These are the things that were good. These were, objective concepts. I don't hear that. So I say that's not objective. We need to check and balance each other. Because if we all say the same thing and it's wrong, then y'all gonna get injured. The internet is what it is. I live in a camper by myself in a town where I don't know anyone. And I did that to not be popular. I used to live in Hollywood and I hung out with famous people and I felt nothing. I felt as empty as can be. Like an echo, hello, hello. And that's when I decided to get a horse, because I knew a horse would force me to be outside and connect with nature. And the more you connect with nature, the more you connect with a primal human. You got to understand the difference between a primal human and a modern human. We have the same body, but the difference is modern humans have destroyed their gut walls. Their DHEA, their thyroid. They destroy it, right? Through the cortisol pathway. We're toxic. We have forever chemicals in us. And you think that all that inflammation is going to go away because you fasted if you have dysglycemia, which most of you do. So that is why Mike Mutzel is changing his tune, because people start having problems. That is why Dr. Berg is changing his tune, is because people are having problems. And yes, we all evolve. As long as you take accountability for, you can do whatever you want. But it's in my opinion that you should take accountability and say, I used to say this, now I don't. I used to say take MCT oil, now I say burn it. I used to eat almond butter. Spinach. But it's wrong. I'm not going to be like, oh, don't eat spinach, do this. I'm going to say, I didn't know any better. That was dumb. That was in my beginning phases. And I've said that throughout the years. And I'm still here because I love connecting with people. I love myself. I love the life that we live. And you guys must be strong because things are coming. And if you're not strong enough, you're not going to emotionally make it to the other side, especially when you do such an obscure diet that people still, these diets, people don't even understand them at this juncture or their existing health. My goal is to never throw anybody under the bus. And if my perception of reality, which I think is based on experience and consistencies of people destroying their bodies fasting, I'm going to say in a video, hey, this isn't a good idea. And then the algorithm will pick it up, and then people will watch that. And then I get to tell them to be careful and how to do things the right way. And go find out yourself. Just don't rely on me, because none of us have all the answers. You have to know the answers. Remember this, when you know better, you can always do better. Society is crumbling, and there's only a select few that notice. Hard work should be rewarded, right? Not fear, not laziness, not self-doubt. Strength, confidence, humility, these are qualities that should be rewarded. And we're in a society where we reward weak actions, desperate actions, and look where it gets people. But life is good. It's a beautiful day, and I'm about to start my house build. And I left California, and I left Hollywood, and I rediscovered a new Stephanie. It's amazing. Sometimes to fix your health, you have to, people are like, I'm so busy, I don't have time. And your health won't get better. You can't just take a supplement or fast or eat a bunch of protein and voila, your health is improved. It takes a lot of work, a lot, and a lot of self-love. Remember, confidence, belief in oneself, and reward yourself. Don't expect other people to reward you or to guide you. You have to guide yourself. If me talking about another guru triggers you, I'm not your girl. Go to somebody else's channel, because I'm not here to hold anybody's hand. I'm here to help people. Okay, guys, I gotta go pick up some stuff from Lowe's because we're about to get this build on. If you want to learn more, go to stephanieperson.com. I got your back. I will show my emotional intelligence and my concern, and I'm right there. And no shortcuts, but all the knowledge that I've learned, I will try to do my best to help you. And if you want to go to my Instagram, it's Stephanie Ketogenic. My Facebook fan page is Stephanie the Business Person. And my challenge signups will be coming soon. Lots of scribblage, paperwork, trying to finish it. It's just a lot. I'm juggling a lot. I'm juggling my mom. I'm juggling the challenge. I'm juggling clients. But I'm so grateful. Yeah. More stuff to come. Hormones. You know, I got subjects on top of subjects. I'm 56 now, right? Full natty. How do you keep muscle? How do you have your skin from falling apart? How do you find happiness, sleep, you name it? Yeah, self-discovery. It's really interesting. Again, you could book a consultation through stephanieperson.com. And I also have a course where I cover all 3 diets, because I'm not dogmatic about carnivore or keto or low carb, high fat. You got to find which one works for you. And I'm out. Peace. Comment below. What are your thoughts? I read them.